And we are live on the air on a Friday edition of the Computer America Show, and our pre-show, and um, yes, of course we've got our chat room up, people saying hi to Ralph, and of course we have our show reminder winner of the week, and of course Ralph Bond here with us for both hours. So we got a lot of fun stuff to talk about, a lot of fun stories. You can check them all out.
4 minutes until showtime.
At our show notes at computeramerica.com. If you want to follow along, just click on the cheat notes link, and you'll see everything we're going to be talking about tonight. So sit back, hang on, relax, and have a good one. We'll be starting in a few minutes. Hey, any good movies premiering this week? I don't think there are.
Ooh, not that I know of.
I still haven't seen. I still haven't seen Godzilla, so I know.
I thought you had.
No, I saw Edge of Tomorrow, and I saw some of the other ones, but I have not seen. I haven't seen Godzilla yet, so I do need to go see that. I'm going to go in the chat room right now and say hi to everyone.
How was Edge of Tomorrow?
It was great. Okay. Edge of Tomorrow was really good.
3 minutes until showtime.
You'd like Edge of Tomorrow, Charles. It's actually it's a thinking person's movie. I mean, there's a lot of things to think about, and it's actually just not all shooting and killing aliens. It's actually a very good movie.
Okay.
And even people who don't like Tom Cruise like Tom Cruise in this movie. So go figure. Yeah, so.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
I am going to help stamp out Tokyo. I am going to watch Godzilla, Jack. So yes.
Stamp out Tokyo. I remember when SimCity first came out. My son was a real little guy. We used to build cities and then unleash Godzilla.
KY is that too. Hi. Say hi.
Two minutes until showtime. One minute until showtime.
Hey, Charles, FYI, just be prepared to carry the show. If the dogs start barking, somebody's here that shouldn't be here. Are you okay?
Okay.
Expecting aliens to drop in and cause the dogs to bark?
I had to, because my wife and son are coming back from South Carolina tonight. So.
Gotcha.
Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Broadcasting live, it's America's longest-running national radio talk show on computers, Computer America, hosted by national columnist Craig Crossman. Look for Craig's weekly column in your favorite newspaper. This show is being beamed nationwide at ComputerAmerica.com. Keep it here for technology news, computer products, guest interviews, and your phone calls. You're listening to Computer America.
Hello and welcome into the Computer America Show. It's the nation's longest-running, nationally syndicated radio talk show on computers. Computer America is heard around the world and coast to coast. And I'm your host,
the great and powerful Craig Rossman.
I'm not sure what really just happened there. I think Craig's audio messed up. Craig, I think we lost you. So that was the former host of the show, Craig Crossman. I am the acting host, certified ethical hacker, and king of all awesome, Charles Tyndall.
Hey, Charles. Glad that you'd be here. And guess what? You know what, Charles?
What?
It's Friday!
Oh, wait, don't get excited.
What?
Because it's Friday the 13th.
Oh.
Dun, dun, dun.
But that's okay because we're still going to have a show reminder winner of the week. There you go. So we have that. We're going to have a show winner, and hopefully you've signed up to get our weekly newsletter.
If anybody's watching the Hangout, like I know the two of you are, and you see this strange look on my face, my wife walked in with a box labeled Groupon, which normally for me means that my pocketbook just got light. You know, she does get some cool things, but she also showed up with soup, and I don't know what soup she showed up, and she's doing the Vanna White thing, roasted red peppers and crab bisque.
Oh,
tasty. Tasty. But now I want to know what's in the box.
Well, I have Jersey Mike's.
Jersey Mike's?
Yeah, I got a roast beef stuff.
Who did we have earlier today? Was it Jersey Mike's? What do we have today? Jimmy John's. We had Jimmy John's earlier today. Sandwiches.
You know, she doesn't talk. She does the pantomime, you know. So charades, you know. It's first word. Sounds like.
Let's see. What's in the box? So you guys get a live unboxing of this large Groupon object.
Well, I can't see it. It's off camera.
Oh, wait, here, look here.
Oh, okay, Groupon.
Okay, it's a big Groupon box. Let's see what this
It's
is.
an Xbox One.
I've got like 3 of those.
Oh. Can I have one?
Yeah.
It smells familiar. What is it? It's a box
No,
within
you
a...
can't look at that.
Oh, I can't look at the piece of paper.
Okay, because it'll tell you what it is, and there's no surprise.
Yeah, this is an example of the things that she buys that I'm not supposed to know about. At least she didn't hide this one before. Look, it's a box! Inside the box! How cool is that? We got a box in the box. I'm going to hand that box off. Let's see what's in this box.
There's going to be another box in that, too. Is this going to go on?
It's going to be another button. It's going to be a no button.
No, but
No!
Oh.
There's a no button. Let's see. That's there. It smells familiar.
It's a 2-hour show, you know.
I know. I'm trying to get it out of the box, but apparently I'm losing.
well, it's entertaining. I like it.
Styrofoam. Look, it's another box.
It is another box.
Styrofoam. It's another box.
It's a DirecTV box.
Right? It's a cable box or something.
The cable box.
It's a box full of cables.
Oh, crap.
What is it?
It's a
It's a box.
humidor.
It's a humidor. Oh, I didn't know
It's
you
a box
smoked-
within a box. It's a humidor.
I didn't know you smoked cigars.
I do.
Oh.
Look at that.
Well, wait, he's in Colorado. It could be used for other purposes.
This is
Well, yeah, we got to keep that fresh too. But
Look through the window. Wait a minute. Look through the window. Charles, look through the window. Look. No, look. No. Hold it up.
hold on, wait, I didn't get the box out of this.
Hold it. Not that. Look through the window.
What's it?
It's a humidor. It's really wow.
Pretty cool.
That's what David was asking about today.
Oh, this is what. So it's apparently a conspiracy.
You can keep
The
all,
office is known.
you can keep all your humids in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, their country.
Humid doors. Little
Humid
doors that
door.
are humid.
Yep. Wow. Thank you, baby.
You're welcome.
Well, while
I
we're
got,
doing
I got
that,
a gun yesterday. Was it yesterday?
put that in the humidor.
Yeah, I got a gun yesterday for Father's Day,
Yeah.
and now I got a humidor.
Oh, this is for
He
Father's
doesn't
Day.
like surprises.
I don't like surprises. She's right.
Yeah. It's,
Wow.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Happy Father's Day.
Check that out.
When is Father's Day?
Sunday?
Sunday.
Father's Day is Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah, so I got a gun yesterday. That's a very nice piece. It's a CZ999. Love that thing. It's a Serbian gun. I don't know if I don't know if it's a pistol, and it's a 9mm pistol, and I was excited about that, and now I've got a humidor.
All right. Well, great.
You're
Check it
living
out.
large.
Yeah, right. Guns, bourbon, cigars. Look at me.
All right.
Wait a minute, I didn't see the bourbon. Where's that?
Oh, right here.
Yeah, he drank it.
There you go.
Jeez. Oh my
That's because
God.
my wife is awesome. Check me out, man.
It was full when the show started.
Yeah, right. It was.
Yeah. Why don't we? I'll just introduce our guest and get him on the show. Okay.
Go for it.
Well, that guy.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah, he's back. Bond is back. It's all Bond on tonight's show. Yes, I'm not talking about James Bond. I'm talking about Ralph Bond. Ralph Bond is the correspondent for the Computer America show. He's the author of Family Computer Fun, Digital Ideas Using Your Photos, Movies, and Music by Q Publishing, and co-author of the PC Dad's Guide to Becoming a Computer Smart Parent by Dell Publishing. Ralph was Intel's Consumer Education Manager for more than 10 years, and for nearly the past 7 years, he's been part of Autodesk's communications team. Ralph, welcome into Computer America. How are you?
I'm doing great. Always great to be here. And I'll tell you, I'm jealous. He got bourbon. He got a pistol and a humidor.
Yeah.
I've got a Gatorade so far.
You got
That's it.
Gatorade so far? Now I need cigars to stick in the box. That's what I need. That's what I need. I need a bunch of cigars to stick in the box. That's what I need now.
No, I told you, Charles, you live in Colorado. You're missing the point.
Yeah.
Fort wants to know if you're Agent 00 Corel 7.
00 Corel 7.
No, he's in Colorado. It's Corral.
Corral.
There's the Golden Corral. That's another one. I like that. Anyway, Ralph Bond is here. It's a Friday night. It's going to be a lot of fun. Now, if you can join in the fun and frolics if you like, we offer many different ways to do it.
I've got to go smoke something out of my humidor. I'll be right back.
No. Starting with the phone number. Give us a call, 347-884-8881. We'll get you on and get you through. If you have any questions about what we're talking about tonight, we're still like all over the road Friday, but we're here, 347-884-8881. You can also send us email to live, L-I-V-E, at computeramerica.com. You can join us in our live interactive add-on chat room from our homepage. Under the first pull-down menu, you'll see it says chatroom/video, or there's a button there that says that too. Just click it, select it. You'll see the homepage, the chat room page. It'll ask you for a username. That's the name you'll be known by when you go in there. Click the sign-in button and your Java-enabled browser. Yes, you do need Java to get in there. Sorry, but you do. Your Java-enabled browser on a Windows machine, Mac, Linux, they all work and move you into the Computer America chat room. And also sharing that same page, that very same page, is our live Computer America video streaming page. Yes, that's right. You can now watch the Computer America show, not only listen to it, but you can watch us live. And the live Computer America video streaming page is brought to you by Other World Computing. That's right. Quality products, expert support since 1988, now celebrating their 25th anniversary. Please visit them for anything that you have to do with your Mac. You need legacy products for your Mac, hard drives, memory, portable battery replacements, solid-state drives. Check out their Aura line. They got a 120 gigabyte drive for $95. $20 more, you can add the external case if you want to. I mean, they have some amazing deals there. Anything over $49, you get free shipping as well, tossed in. And that usually means that you can get it within 2 days, over 80% of the country. But visit them at www.macsales.com, www.macsales.com. Check out all the value that they have there. Check out their new blog that they have. It's called rocketyard.com, rocketyard.com, and you can read all the things that's going on there at OWC, Other World Computing. Again, www.macsales.com. tell them we sent you, and get some really great bargains. So those are all the different ways you can reach us. Now, if you want to follow along, here's what you do. Just go to our homepage at computeramerica.com and go to the second pull-down menu, which says Archives, and you go to Show Notes. And just select Show Notes, and it'll say click here to read the show notes, and it'll open up another window, and you'll see today's show, June 13th. You'll see Ralph Bond, and he's there, both hours. You can click, and the first link will take you to his website, but underneath that, there's something that says Cheat Notes. If you click that link, it'll open up a Google Docs document on a separate window. And then you can follow along with us. You'll not only hear about and read about the things that we're talking about tonight, but you'll actually see pictures. There are web links to the websites, all the pertinent information of all the things that Ralph has found for us tonight. It's on the cheat notes, on our show notes at computeramerica.com. So all the ways you can interact with us, follow along with us, and there are obviously plenty of them. So we're going to start out tonight, Ralph, with this very first item here. The first story, we know smartphones are here. Most everybody has smartphones. I know Apple's getting ready to announce their iPhone 6 probably in the September or October timeframe. But evidently there's a new smartphone chip in town that's going to beam high-definition holograms, and they're saying they're going to do it as early as 2015. What is this? This looks cool.
Oh, yeah. You know me. I look for the wacky and the out there stuff. And this is great. This is a story from Engadget, written by a fellow named Matt Bryan. And we've got the link in the show notes. Like Craig was saying, folks, you really want to get the show notes so that you can see the pictures, and most important of all, get the links so you can follow along with us in the story. And the image that's in the show notes, guys, which you can see, is really kind of interesting. You see the little chip, and you see a holographic image kind of projected like a little cone, striped cone. It just, okay, what else can you do with a smartphone? Why not have it be like the first Star Wars movie where you can have a little hologram in your hand, right? Why not? And so that's what this is all about. The story says, just imagine a smartphone that projects 3D holograms into thin air. If you can wait until the end of next year, and if you can believe the claims being made by a well-funded company called Ostendo, that's O-S-T-E-N-D-O, then your next handset could be capable of doing just that. Thanks to breakthroughs by the Californian display startup, 5,000 PPI projectors, and PPI, would that be pixels per inch, do you think,
yes,
guys? Okay, so 5,000 PPI projectors the size of Tic Tacs are now powerful enough to control the color, brightness, and angle of individual beams of light across 1 million pixels. Just one chip is said to deliver a usable image, but adding additional chips provides scope for even more complex and detailed images. It goes on to say the Wall Street Journal was treated to a demo involving 6 chips which beamed green dice spinning in the air, and noted how consistent the motion appeared irrespective of where it was viewed from. Development of the technology is still in the early stages, meaning the first chip will be limited to 2D video when it begins shipping in the summer of 2015, capable of being projected onto nearby surfaces at sizes of up to 48 inches. Yeah. However, the Ostendo founder of the company, a fellow named Hussein El Ghorri, I'm going to butcher his name, sorry, says that the second chip, which is capable of creating 3D images that float in the air and appear almost like a solid object, will enter manufacturing just a few months after the first chip.
Well, I wonder. So why are they even doing that? I mean, if you, why would you want to buy the 2D if you know just a few months after that the 3D version is going to buy? Wouldn't you just wait?
Oh, I agree. Clearly, I mean, obviously he's talking about behind the doors, development stages, right? Because I would think from a marketing point of view, you're spot on, Craig. I would wait and market a product that you could say to the consumer, guess what? You can go into 2D video mode and project an image up to 4 feet, 48 inches across on a wall. Wait a minute. Or you can also have a 3D image projected in midair. I mean, how cool is that? That's what you want to rate.
What you're telling me is the first thing people are going to do is they're going to hold up the device, and suddenly we're going to see, Obi-Wan, you're the only hope we have left. Come save us.
Absolutely right. That's going to be the first app you'll be able to buy for this, I'm sure, is of course, approved and legally sanctioned reproduction of that famous scene about you're the only one who can come and save us.
Yes.
So the story says that it's the company in question. It's already got some major handset manufacturers signed up for the chip, but the next step will see the company make the pixel smaller to boost the resolution of its holograms. After that, it'll try to embed its chips in anything with a 3D display, including TVs, smartwatches, and even holographic coffee tables or tables. Can you imagine, guys? I just love it. I love this kind of stuff.
You reach for your cup of coffee in the morning and your hand goes through it, No, that's something you just love in the first thing in the morning. Oh, my coffee, I need that. Wait a minute. It's only a hologram. I can't drink it. I want the replicator technology. I can drink it.
3D printed food.
Is every time we get to something new and major, then that generation wants something more different, because we'll play the 3D displays and do that, and then the people are going to start complaining that that it's not real and they need to get replicator technology.
Yeah. Well, how is that different than a spouse? When it comes to home improvement.
You want more. You always want more. Yeah. Well, there it is. Charles, would you? I don't know.
Would I use this projector? Would I use this projector?
Yeah, would you use it with your Google Glass?
Oh no, you can't use it with Google Glass.
No.
No.
Because anything you could project, then you could just grab it and.
Now, are we talking about? Are we going to be able to interact with these holograms? Because the holodeck, we've got the replicator. Only thing we need now is warp drive and the holodeck.
Yes.
That's all we need.
Hey, talking of high tech, did you guys see the World Cup? Of course, the big soccer thing going on, or football event going on in Brazil.
No.
And the opening kick, the first kick of the whole thing, was a fellow who's paralyzed in a wheelchair normally, but he was outfitted with a kind of robotic suit, and it enabled him to stand up on his own and kick the first soccer ball to start off the game. Did you guys see that?
No, but that must have been amazing.
Oh yeah, you got to Google that. Just Google, I don't know, World Cup, robotics, paralyzed man, kick first ball, something like that. You'll see the videos of it. It's uncanny. Talking about amazing technology. Seriously, that could have implications for future disabled people. How wonderful.
I still don't understand. That's I still don't understand why we can't get the spine to regenerate itself. We have stem cells. We have all these things. Why we can't get the cord to just rebind.
Yeah. Well, maybe. And in the meantime, if we can mechanically work around it and give somebody the opportunity. And by the way, this device, this suit, if you want to call it, was controlled by the person's thoughts. Now, I'm not quite sure how that works, to be honest with you. But
I thought you were going to say it was controlled by his iPhone or something. No, that's good.
Probably that too. But anyway, Google that, guys. That's a fun story that I just heard about.
Definitely will. Well, this next story, Oculus Rift, has been in the news so many times, and it's the competitor. I don't know if it's not the competitor, but it is something in the category of a Google Glass, but a different category, something that you wear that lets you go and immerse yourself into a virtual world. Oculus Rift purchased by $1.7 billion by Facebook. Charles.
Yeah, isn't that something?
Yeah, and so Oculus Rift VR films from Oculus Rift are coming, and the what is it? Pantopicam is going to shoot them.
I'm so glad you pronounced it first, because I just as you were speaking, I was breaking up the words so I could try to say it without sounding like a dummy. Pantopticam.
Yeah,
I like Pantopticam. That sounds good.
Pantopticam.
So if you've got the show notes, everybody, you can see the picture, which is just great. It shows this thing on this.
It looks like a
No, I was saying to Charles before the show, it looks like that second film of the original 3 films of the Star Wars, right? When they're on the ice planet, didn't they deploy, the bad guys deploy these?
Right. Yeah, these
These
little things that floated in the air. Right?
goobers that flew around, these white ball-like thing. Anyway, this is kind of what I thought of.
Yeah.
But to try to describe this, folks, it's a white ball-like device, probably about the size of a soccer ball, to your point, Craig.
Yeah.
And it's embedded all around with lenses and so forth. So the story comes from PocketLint.com, a fun UK-based website I just love, a story by a fellow named Luke Edwards. And it says, imagine watching a film where you can look anywhere in a full 360-degree sphere of vision. Theater is as close as we get to what we've expected to follow the action as movies about the stage and sometimes the building. But wait, he says, how will that work for a film is hard to imagine. In other words, this whole 360-degree viewing ability, and how does that work in a theater building is what he's talking about. But he says it's coming. It says the Panopticon, now I'm blowing it already, Panopticam, thank you, camera made by Figure Digital is the name of the company, aims to bring the world of film and virtual reality together. The unit that looks like a bot from Star Wars, to the point we just made a few moments ago, is comprised of 35 high-definition cameras mounted into a 3D printed spherical case, and the Panopticam will come with software that stitches the captured videos together for playback on a headset like Oculus Rift or Sony's Morpheus headset.
Okay.
Now it says this isn't the first time this idea has been used. According to Real Screen, David Attenborough is currently shooting a documentary, Conquest of the Skies, using a rig of 8 cameras that will film in 360 degrees. That show will be released for the Oculus Rift when it's finished. Another competitor to this Panopticam is Jaunt, J-A-U-N-T. This company has raised $7 million to produce VR films using its camera setup that looks very similar to the one we're talking about here. And so it goes on to say the money and investment seems to be in place for these 360-degree films, but will these films catch on? The classic question, just like the issue we've talked about so many times before with 3D television, 3D movies, right? Yeah. Says 3D glasses have proven to be too much for most to bother with. A bulky headset for anyone other than gamers might not sound too attractive, especially as it means to try to watch something that you might end up missing while you're looking at the wrong part of the screen. That's an interesting comment. That said, this is a burgeoning technology that could be slimmed and improved for an exciting new way to watch films in the very near future. So it says the Panopticam is still in development with no release date announced. I think I would offer for you guys and see what you think. More likely to have great application in training or military training or simulation or other things of this nature than necessarily entertainment, other than the initial kind of turn on of going into a special theater or a special environment. I don't know. What do you think? It's an interesting and intriguing idea.
Charles?
I'm still stuck on the fact that they're now owned by Facebook.
You can't get past that.
I can't get past that. Facebook still owns them, so in my mind, I'm thinking the first thing we're gonna get. And how did my camera turn into like this weird,
Yeah, I don't know.
falling off thing? But the first thing you're gonna get is is what's that one? Farmville. For your Oculus Rift, and you're gonna end up being like, oh dear God, no! Or in the middle of watching one of these Oculus Rift movies, right? You're gonna get so and so has tagged you in a photo, yay! And I'll be like, dear God, go away.
Amen.
Yeah.
Well,
Just be glad it has nothing to do with LinkedIn.
Right?
what do you do with your camera? I'm getting motion sickness.
No, I think the bourbon was next to the camera. Now you've done it, Craig.
Yeah. What it's again with 3D movie. Now, when I go see a 3D movie, if it's a big blockbuster and a lot of special effects, I'll spend a few extra dollars to go see it in 3D because I know I'll never see it and have the chance to see it in 3D again when it comes out on HBO or something. I'll just watch
it.
So maybe I'll sometimes go for that extra, few bucks if it's a big one. But I don't have the 3D TV, and they're I think going away with 4K coming out. And
yeah, interesting.
I'm not really. I don't think that's. I don't think it's gonna. Now maybe when they are going to be coming out with 3D TVs with no glasses whatsoever, that may be something I might want to consider down the line. But,
Yeah.
And also, when you have these exotic formats in movie, for example, IMAX comes to mind. I mean, I've been to an IMAX theater. It's this huge screen. I mean, you have this really immersive experience. And it is fun to watch. But again, IMAX is extremely expensive to go see. It adds like about $8 more to the original.
Right.
So there is that to consider. I don't think this. I don't really think it's going to catch on. I mean, they have all these gimmicky little things like the seats will vibrate and you can kind of feel the shocks, and it's sort of like a force feedback for the movies. That's not really doing very well. I just don't think that. I just don't think it's going to catch on. That's just my opinion.
And Craig, that goes back to my point when I asked you guys for your reaction. Is that I think it'll have use in specialty situations, specialty training things and other things like that, and maybe spot stuff where you have entertainment. I don't know, maybe you go to some special entertainment zone and you put these things on, these headsets on, but for general mass consumption, it's probably doubtful.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Where did Charles go? He keeps disappearing. I think
I don't know. Between the humidor and the bourbon, and all that good stuff, he's got other more fun things to do than be on the show, I think.
Evidently, I have no idea. I'm feeling.
Hope he's okay. Actually, he did go away.
Yeah, feeling rejected here. Oh, man.
I feel rejected.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm here for you, Craig.
I know. This next story. This is actually kind of cool, though.
Yes.
I don't have time to do the whole thing, but this story thing, Pepper, is the name of this robot, little robot that reads and actually reacts to emotions.
Yes. This is cool, isn't it? Story from PC Magazine online, Stephanie Millot, and again, we have the link in the show notes for you, and a cute little picture of this thing. This little robot, this humanoid little robot, actually has a tablet PC on its chest, but we'll go into the story as much as time allows before the break here. Artificial intelligence is still still a work in progress, but if you're simply looking for robotic companionship, SoftBank, that's the company, may have a humanoid for you. The Japanese mobile operator teamed up with Aldebaran, Aldebaran Robotics to develop Pepper, the world's first personal robot that can read emotions. Interesting, huh? Pepper can detect sadness based on your expression and voice tones. Using built-in sensors and pre-programmed algorithms, the robot will also react appropriately. So in the vein of it's wild, huh?
Yeah. Okay. So if you're feeling blue, Pepper's going to know about it.
Well, yeah, and that could be either good or extra spooky. And it says here, in the vein of its corporate philosophy of happiness for everyone, doesn't that sound classically Japanese? SoftBank entered the cyborg business with the aim of developing affectionate robots that make people smile, according to the CEO, Masayoshi Son. But Pepper does more than tell a joke or two. The device comes equipped with a 10.1-inch touch display, as well as voice recognition technology and emotion recognition to enable human to humanoid communication. It can also handle gestures like the wave of an arm or a nod of the head. The friendly-looking cyborg will begin rolling into Japanese homes in February of next year for a base price of approximately, would be about US, I guess, $1,931 approximately.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it weighs about 62 pounds.
If I want to pay $2,000 for something that's going to read my emotions, I just, it wouldn't be that. But
you could get a couple of therapist sessions in for that money.
Yeah, at least.
So it has a lithium-ion battery for 12 hours of battery life, continuous usage, plus Wi-Fi feature allows for expandable knowledge through cloud-based synchronization. That's kind of interesting. Additional capabilities, including motion, conversation, and sensors, are planned for the 2015 commercial launch. So look for this for developers. It's kind of interesting.
Wow, yeah. I'm curious what Charles would think about that, but he's not there. So well, maybe we'll be back when we come back. This is the Computer America Show on the Blog Talk Radio Network, on the Boost Radio Network, and the IRN Radio Network. Ralph Bond is here with us for both hours. We're talking about all the cool things that he finds on the internet. Charles and I and Knopf will be right back. Stay with us.
Hey everyone, have you heard about the No hair removal device that's sweeping the globe? If you want to go weeks without shaving and get smooth, professional quality results, here's our favorite host Cheryl for No hair removal.
Thanks. Hey gals, I love talking about my No. It's this cute little hair removal system that you can take with you and use almost anywhere at home or on the road. No more expensive in-office treatments, painful waxing, and no more wasting your valuable time. Got unwanted facial hair? No has patented Thermocon technology that works on all hair and skin colors, so it's perfect for using on all body parts. And now you can take advantage of this incredible risk-free trial. Get the No, the facial kit, a travel case, and a $100 discount shopping card, and you don't risk a penny to try it. Try the incredible No hair completely risk-free. Call 1-800-953-5415. That's 800-953-5415. 800-953-5415.
Looking for a best friend? Brother Wolf Animal Rescue has your best friend waiting just for you. Their mission is to protect and enhance the lives of companion animals and the people who love them. Their no-kill rescue shelter is open year-round, making it easy for people to adopt their best new friend. This year, Brother Wolf will find homes for over 2,400 orphan dogs, puppies, cats, and kittens. All have ended up as an orphan through no fault of their own. Brother Wolf has created a safe, nurturing environment where these special animals can heal emotionally and physically until they find a lifelong home. Their life-saving transport program brings dogs and puppies from overcrowded shelters in the south to rescues in the north where homes are easier to find. Brother Wolf Animal Rescue is a 501c3 organization. To learn more about their life-saving work and to make a donation, visit their website at www.bwar.org. That's www.bwar.org. Help to realize Brother Wolf's vision when no animal is euthanized for lack of a home.
Who's a good boy?
Hello, this is Marty Winston for Computer America with a News Tips Bulletin review of the HP NV5530 and Instant Ink. We'll let the tail end of that wag this dog. The new HP Instant Ink service works with selected printer models, SMB, small and medium business scale, monitoring the number of pages they print, and based on that, automatically reordering ink, which is shipped to you. The lowest tier is $2.99 for 50 pages a month. To let us review it, they provided an HP NV5530 all-in-one printer, a decent performer that could be a good idea for a small business or somebody just starting out, or even occasionally for college kids who have a lot to print. The program anticipates when ink runs out, so chances are you get the refill before the printer runs empty. The weakness is that if your week-to-week, month-to-month usage isn't fairly consistent, or you're not sure how many pages you print, you could easily sign up for more or less ink than you need. If your usage is consistent, the program's ink pricing is better than retailer pricing. We note that this represents lost revenue to retailers. Bottom line, for many people, the new HP Instant Ink program may prove a good value, and one of its supported printers, the HP NV5530, is more than capable as an SMB workhorse. This is Marty Winston at the News Tips Bulletin for Computer America.
And thank you for that, Marty. Yeah, I cut him off before he dialed into my brain that time, so we're okay.
You made that by the skin of your teeth.
No, I came back in time to hear what he was saying, and I was like, oh no, but I'm here. I'm live most of the time.
We can't see you, but yes.
Oh, let's see what happens when I click this button.
Oh.
Sad day. Well, okay, wait, okay, maybe it's this one.
Nope.
No, that's not it. I'm not sure. Third time's the charm.
Yep.
Got it. There it is. Anyway, welcome back to the Computer America Show. Craig has been talking to Ralph Bond. I had to step away for a minute, but I have returned. And we were talking about all sorts of new technology and all sorts of fun things. And I think we left off on the Facebook Rift. I mean, the Oculus Rift.
No, we were talking about the robot that reads human emotions.
Oh, God, no.
Pepper. Yeah, you missed it. It was a really good one, too.
Miss Pepper.
Vulcan robot?
Yeah, it actually reads human emotions. If you're feeling blue, or it'll actually be able to but it's $2,000. So.
Well, how does it work? Does it read facial expressions? Does it?
You'll have to listen to the rebroadcast.
You need the show notes.
Now, wait, I can listen to this again over on the podcast section at computeramerica.com, or I can go to our YouTube page or our Google Plus page and watch, Craig and Ralph and my "what will be right back" sign. So this is what everybody else can do. If you guys have questions, and what happened to my lower third? Where did it go?
It was there, but then you're playing around. You're hitting so many buttons. You keep playing with it.
Button. What does this button do?
Yeah, exactly.
What does this one do? No? If you guys have a question for Craig, Ralph, or myself, give us a call, 347-884-8881. That'll get you on and get you through. That number again, 347-884-8881. Or you can shoot us an email live at computeramerica.com. Or if you're a little email or phone shy, shoot us or visit us over at computeramerica.com in our live interactive add-on chat room, right above which is you get to see the guy that I picked up last week. Who's been sitting in for Craig. He's been doing a really good job, random guy sitting in for Craig. Just want to let you know that one. Ralph is there. We're having a good conversation with him, and you get to see me.
And I still can't figure this out because when I see Ralph, it's the full screen, and I see me, of course, it's the full screen, but when I see you, you're just half a screen.
Probably because of my lower third. On my end, I'm full screen, but you and Ralph are both half screen.
That's strange. Okay, well, I guess
you and Ralph are both letterboxed, and on mine I'm full screen. I think it's just the broadcast. I don't know. I just think maybe it's your Hangouts. Who knows? Anyway, our live video stream. Yeah, right. You only need to see this much of Craig ending.
See, wait a minute. This is troubling because I thought people couldn't see below here. So I better watch out what I'm doing down below here.
Below where? Like, show me again. Is it right about there?
That's where his keyboard is. Now, come on.
See? See, Ralph, you're supposed to wear pants on the show. We've said this before.
Hey, I work in a home office.
Yeah. We know Craig doesn't wear pants.
Yes, wardrobe optional.
Wardrobe optional. And to be a video participant on the Computer America show, you must, at a minimum, wear a shirt.
That's exactly. What does your shirt say tonight?
Oh, my shirt just says Batman, because I'm Batman.
I'm Batman.
Nice. Well done.
Okay. All right, so we're continuing, and please follow along with what we're doing. Just go to our show notes page at computeramerica.com, and you can see everything that we're doing there.
Craig, there's a ghost behind you.
No.
Look there. Look over your right shoulder.
Yes.
It's right next to the printer and the burger, the cheeseburger.
This?
What?
That's my microphone.
No. To your right.
Yeah.
Over your right shoulder, there's this small black thing on a table, and then immediately next to it, there's this thing that looks like a cheeseburger, and there's this thing floating around.
I see the cheeseburger.
I see that's actually a phone, a telephone. The cheeseburger. That's a phone.
That's what he said. He thought it was a cheeseburger, but it was replaced several years ago by an actual Big Mac.
Oh.
And because it's from McDonald's, it hasn't aged a day.
Let me see if you can see this. I don't know if you can do this. Let me see if I can change the angle. This is kind of very cool. I don't know if you can be able to see it.
Well, you've got the broadcaster camera. You should just be able to pick it up and move it.
You see right here. I don't know if it's going to show up. I don't think you can see it.
What is it?
Can you zoom in on it right there?
I can't zoom in. I see what looks like a plate.
No, that's not a plate. Okay. Well, you know what?
Is that your Grammy? Did you get a Grammy, Craig?
It's not my granny. My granny passed on, but
not Granny, Grammy.
No, I'll have to so you can see it better another time, another show. We'll have it do it. Anyhow, we're doing these great stories. Ralph Bond here with us, and we're coming up into a story for you. We've talked about 3D printers. Ralph has found all kinds of 3D printers, but they're also they're for very technical, making car parts. But they're actually coming with a way for kids to make 3D printable monsters.
Yeah, this is really cool. I picked this story up from TechCrunch, a story by John Briggs. If you have the show notes, again, you've got the link and all this good stuff. In fact, go out to iTunes and just do a search for the iTunes store, search for Modio, M-O-D-I-O, and it talks about it being well, not quite. Modio enables anyone to build, modify, and 3D print amazing models using a desktop 3D printer. The program's free, by the way, which is very cool. And again, you can see an image here of one of the screens showing how you can put this together. But here's the story here again from TechCrunch. It said, and by John Briggs, and he says, I've seen a lot of design programs ostensibly marketed at kids, but none as cool as Modio, which was created by Hilmar Gunnarsson, an Icelandic entrepreneur. Now, up in Iceland, I suppose there's not a whole lot to do other than sit there and develop cool software. The system allows you to build Lego-like creatures that snap together and can be printed on a 3D printer, of course, in multiple colors. And he says, why is this so cool? Because each part, when you're designing it on the iPad, sticks together like magic, and you can change the sizes, textures, and even the colors on the fly as you're designing. Then you can print in multiple colors on the same plate, print different colors at different times, or just print everything in one color. Gunnarsson, who's self-funded the entire project and aims to make money by offering downloadable content, monsters, and pieces, and allowing users to share and sell their models. But the program itself, the basic program, is free, by the way. And then I'll shorten the story here a little bit because you can go to the show notes and get more, but he says the user interface is simple to use and designed for touch devices like the iPad. You simply drag and drop the built-in parts to build your little model. The parts snap together just like in reality, and then you can play with your model in the app and pose the parts in any way you want. The app supports multi-touch fully, so you can move multiple parts around simultaneously, and more than one user can even create at the same time, so you can collaborate. That's very cool. The app can print things in multiple sizes, and all of the pieces are flat on the bottom. The joints automatically resize and change when you add parts, and the entire system measures the amount of filament that will be used and the speed of the print. And he concludes, in all, it's a very unique toy-making system for kids and adults. Modio, M-O-D-I-O, at the iTunes the store. Go check it out. Pretty cool.
Yeah, it looks that way. Very much so. All right. Okay. Now, here, Charles has an Android phone. He has a lot of Android devices, and I think he's going to really find this interesting. We're going to talk about an automatic.
I have the best Android. See.
Yeah, an automatic launches on Android. Automatic launches on Android. Now, it dismisses your friends. Well, that's good right there. When you drive, I say it dismisses your friends. Yeah.
Block list Craig. Let's see.
No, it's dismissing.
Driving. Got it.
It's like on the old '70s show.
Well, it says
what he used to say. I say goodbye.
I say good day. It says if you're a car fan. Well, that's what Charles is. Okay, he's a car. Okay.
It took me a while to remember that. That was Fez. Fez on the '70s show said, "Say good day."
Good day. Good day.
Anyway,
they canceled that show.
I love the headline of this story. Really caught my eye. Again, automatic launches on Android, dismisses your friends when you drive. I said I've got to check this out. Story from Engadget. Story by Chris Velasco, and the link is in the show notes, of course. And here's the story. It says if you're a car fan making do with a slightly older ride, Automatic, that's the name of the company, their $99 Link dongle is a neat thing to have around. It tracks your trips, monitors your fuel consumption, and lets you know when you're being a leadfoot. And we've got plenty of devices that'll do that for you, right? It used to be that only Apple acolytes could get their automatic dongle syncing with their phones, but the company says that's the case no longer. It's just released its Android app to bring the world of real-time driving feedback to everybody. As a reward for their patience, or, because Android lets developers get down and dirty with low-level access to the hardware, Android users get an extra feature too. The app can silence your phone while you're driving and tell your chums to buzz off via text message anyway if they try to contact you while you're driving. That's actually kind of cool. Combine that with the ability to store and transmit information about a crash, and you've got yourself a pretty nifty car companion. Just don't try testing the latter feature on your own, meaning the crash feature.
It's like a black box for your car.
Yeah, kinda. Yeah. But I do think, seriously speaking, if someone's trying to call you and you can have an automatic text message sent saying, "Sorry, I'm driving right now. I'll get back to you as soon as I can." That's a handy thing. It's not a bad idea.
I like that. What do you think, Charles? You're the car fan.
I have a problem with devices like this because I never know where my data is actually going.
Well, that's fair.
Yeah. So, like for example, I did this thing when who was it? It was Progressive. They had that little dongle thing.
Oh, right. My daughter has that.
Yeah, it drove me nuts because I drove an Expedition while I had the thing, right? And I don't know if you've ever driven one of these big Ford Expeditions, right? They don't necessarily stop gently. Like they don't, and there's a sensor where if you slow down more than like 5 miles an hour, like decrease it rapidly, they start flagging you. And after a while, after a month, they sent me a note that said, "We're going to raise your insurance rate based on your driving habits from this device." And I was like, "Go jump off a bridge." Like, I'm a safe driver. I drive a tank. There's really, there's no reason for you to do this. So I stopped doing it and opted out of their program. And then they said, well, since you opted out, we're still raising your rates based on the last data. Needless to say, I switched to a different insurance carrier because I'm like, you shouldn't be allowed to do that, and I'm not going to let you dip in like that. But with this guy, I'm looking at the Engadget article on the thing, and I'm wondering, where does my data actually go? Does it just go from the device to my phone, or does the device actually broadcast to the interwebs somewhere where they do collective?
That's a great question.
If
that's
so,
a really important question. Yeah.
If so, who's following my stuff? And it does say that it relies on Bluetooth Low Energy and GPS, and it works with your iPhone, and now it works with your Android and everything else. But it's really one of those things where I'd have to get a hold of one. I'd have to get a hold of one, and I'd have to let it do its thing. And I'd put it in a closed environment where I could see everything that was transacting with this device. Because the first time the thing calls home and is sending my data to someone else that I don't opt into, I'm unplugging it.
I guess you're not an OnStar fan either, Charles.
I don't like OnStar either because, I like OnStar for the features that it brings, like the remote connectivity, the remote monitoring, everything else. But I'll give you a very funny example of why OnStar is probably something very scary for most people. I called my buddy's OnStar. I called the OnStar for my buddy's car because they require like a code, and they require all this other kind of information for it, right?
Okay.
I got it because I drove his car back, right? So I had all this information, and I assimilated a lot of the information because, in the event I'm driving my buddy's car cross country, I get pulled over, I need to know where all this stuff is, right?
All right.
Just because he's an Army buddy of mine, I knew a lot about him, right? So to screw with him one day, I called OnStar while he was sitting in his car. While he was sitting in his car, pretended to be him, had him locked in his car, and had his car shut off.
Nice.
So he's sitting there fiddling with his key and can't figure out why it won't start.
What are friends?
Huh?
What are friends for?
I know, right? Friends like me, you never have to worry about whether or not you're vulnerable to some sort of cyber attack.
You should have deployed the airbags.
Right? Oh no, that would have been rude.
That was only because you knew the code, though, right?
Right, but even still, all I have to do is know the code.
How did you get the code? He gave you the code?
His code was his birthday.
You just guessed it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, now that was too easy.
Well, I mildly social engineered the woman on the other end of the phone, and I was like, I can't remember. Can you give me a hint? And she's like, the last number is 3, and I got it. It's like a 6-digit number. The last number is 3. Figured it out. I mean, they're willing to help you, and I'm willing to take advantage of your desire to help. And if you've got an OnStar capable car and I can figure out your information. Now, they do have the more secure ones where they generate a code for you, and the code is assigned to your vehicle, and you must have that code. But who's going to memorize that? Like also on my Expedition, like before when I bought it, it was used. The guys that I bought it from were like, we have no idea because it was an Eddie Bauer, so it had the combination code to get into the truck on the side of the truck.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody knows what those codes are. Everybody's like, I don't remember. There's a way to set it, but you have to know the master code to reset it. Most people don't realize that it's actually taped on the computer in the back of the truck. So I went around, got my code, reset it, did all the other stuff, and I re-enabled a feature that someone had long since forgotten. And that's the problem. Most people forget those codes or just don't know. They're just forgetful.
What feature did you re-enable?
The door lock code.
Oh, the door lock.
Yeah,
Now, could you have had the airbags fire off too? No.
I don't think so. I don't think you can do that.
But you can stall the car out. I know you can do that, right?
Yeah,
But
OnStar lets you actually remotely disable your ride. So it shuts off electricity to what it basically does is it tells the computer, it sends a signal, tells the computer to shut off power to your fuel injectors, which kills your fuel system. Then your car dies. You still have power to the car and everything, but the car itself will not crank back over. And
it'll brake, and you can do all the things. You can
right. It also they've evolved the system to the point where now it detects what speed you're traveling and detects the most effective way to actually slow your vehicle. Like, it really kind of sucks if all of a sudden your car dies and you're doing 80. It just locks up. You're like, oh crap, that's not good. So it'll shut it down and it'll let it coast itself off to the side of the road. It'll still give you some features. It'll reduce power. So on and so forth. But that's just too much control for a third party to have. This is why I drive vehicles that don't have computers in them. That, and when the zombie apocalypse happens,
Yeah, of course that is. Exactly.
Well, that's why you're a vintage car guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, that EMP that's.
Hey, wait a minute! I got something for you. Charles, I got something for you.
Go.
At the town I live in, Hillsboro, Oregon, we have what we call Tuesday Market Night. And it's this great local yokel deal with the farmers bring in all the produce, and they set up their little stands, and they sell things, and the arts and crafts people. But they also do an old car. They take one part of the street downtown, and they dedicate it to anyone who has a vintage car they brought in. You might appreciate this. A guy brought in, I think it was, if I got this right, I think it was 1958 or something. It was a Lincoln two-door, a two-door Lincoln Mark something sedan. He said it was I think he said Frank Sinatra owned one. Not this particular one, but he owned the model. He said it's a 5,000-pound two-door Lincoln Mark something. I think from the late 1950s, because I looked at the styling. I said, is that like from the early 60s? He says, no, it's 1958 or something. Maybe you can Google that and look it up. But he said that only 500 of them were made. And the thing was, talk about heavy metal. Oh my Lord.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, this is a car for you.
It was the shorter top, but it was really long, right?
Yes, very long, short kind of cab, two-door, Lincoln something.
I've got two 66 Continentals. One is the four-door with the suicide doors, and one is the two-door coupe. One is the two-door coupe.
So you have one of the two doors. Okay, so this guy did too. I should have taken a picture. I figured you'd love it.
I've got pictures of mine. I just got to put them up somewhere where I can show them to you really easy. But yeah. Let's see. Frank Sinatra. They've got pictures of it. I wonder if it was a Continental.
It was a Lincoln something. I thought he said Mark something, but maybe he said Continental. But again, it was two doors. It was kind of a cream color, and he said it was the original color of the car.
Yeah, they do keep them. They do keep them that one. Let's see. He had a. Let me find it. 1956 co-star Gracie Crosby. Don't know. I'll find it. I'll find it now.
Yeah.
I'll talk about it.
You know what? Next time we have the Tuesday Market, if that guy comes back, I'll take some pictures of it and send them to you. I should.
Yeah.
Because you're such a good car guy. You'd love it.
Yeah.
Well, listen, for all you Star Wars fans, there's a new Star Wars coming out.
Yeah, back to the show.
Back to the show. It's interesting because Story 6, this fellow evidently used Legos to design or recreate the world's biggest, most accurate Lego Imperial Star Destroyer ever built. This thing is amazing. Look at that. If you'll
it is great.
You should download the show notes to look at this thing. It's impressive.
And you've got to have the show notes, folks. If you have the show notes, it's going to all resonate for you. You're going to have the link. You're going to have these pictures. Here's the story. It comes from Gizmodo, a story by Jesus Diaz. Yes. It's really cool. Check out those pictures. And the story says here, get this, more than 40,000 Lego bricks.
Wow.
110 pounds, this model is, 6.62 feet long, wow. 4.1 feet wide, although the photograph doesn't make it look that wide, but nonetheless.
Doesn't do it justice at all.
No, 1.9 feet tall, 8 months of design and building. Those are the stats for the biggest most accurate Lego Imperial Star Destroyer ever built.
And if
And
you're
the
if
story-
you're looking at it, they've got the under construction, like a construction crane on it, a Lego construction
Yeah.
crane, and they've got the little Lego construction guys in there drinking a
Gotta
cup of
love
coffee, taking a break, eating their lunch.
Isn't that? It's just great.
Awesome.
It says it's amazing not only for its massive size, but its perfection and accuracy of this Lego machine is one of the most impressive Lego builds I've ever seen, the author says. Every single detail was resolved with masterful skill using a technique called SNOT, which sounds terrible, S-N-O-T, or studs not on the top. So I guess if you're a Lego person, SNOT means something different than what it means to me. If you notice, you won't see any of the typical Lego bricks studs, right? And you look at the model. The young man, his name is Jarek, J-E-R-A-C, a Lego builder from Lodz, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, in Poland, started to design this Titanic model on November the 11th of 2013. It was a very complex endeavor, so building actually started on December 28, 2013, ending in June the 1st of 2014. Wow.
That thing is wicked. I gotta send this to my friend.
I know, isn't that just totally cool? I love the picture of the builder squatting down in front of the display case where they've got this thing, and it's just great. I mean, what a labor of love, but the skill and the thing again, the SNOT technique, no studs on top, blows my mind. I can't even begin to understand how you do this.
Yeah.
I
blown
know how
away.
Legos work. And this doesn't look anything like a Lego. I mean, you don't see this.
No,
It looks
like a kit model, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's just astonishing.
You don't see any of the seams that
No.
he doesn't want you to see. I mean, you see seams where they're supposed to be. You know, it's supposed to be, but which are not really seams. But you don't see anything else, and it's either that or
Well,
painted over it or something. I'm not sure what he's done.
and clearly you must have an extremely strong and creative mind. I mean, I marvel at just the mental ability to figure out how to do this. Wow. It just blows my mind.
Well, if you think that was impressive with Legos, that moves us right into story 7. I don't know if we can start it. They've got the world's tallest Lego tower built with nearly 500,000 bricks.
Yeah, this comes from PocketLint.com. Another story by Luke Edwards in the UK. Now, this is impressive for its scale, but not as impressive ultimately as the Star
The
Wars
detail.
destroyer. Because
Now, if you could figure
here
out how
you-
to make that Star Destroyer fly, I'd be even more impressed.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, it's cool that these people in Budapest built this Lego tower that's broken the Guinness World Record for the tallest structure built with interlocking plastic blocks, but it's basically just, stack them up as farther and get a crane and get up there and keep stacking. I appreciate it, but it's nothing like the skill that went into the Star Wars thing. But it is kind of fun. It says the tower stands with bricks alone and no form of external support. The official Lego Builders team managed with the help of some local children, built a 114-foot tower. On top sat an oversized representation of a Rubik's Cube to honor the toy's inventor. The tower was built using around 4,500 bricks. The previous record holder used 500,000 bricks to build a 112-foot and 11-inch tower in Delaware last August. So the record for the tallest Lego tower was broken, and was broken an impressive 3 times last year. So we don't expect to see this record stand for much longer. I had no idea people were doing this with Legos. I think that's hilarious.
But the tallest one uses only 450,000 bricks. The previous record holder used 500,000 bricks. But
Maybe it was wider.
Well, my question is this: if you look at the video, it says that the article says that it stands by itself. But if you look at the video, it's got support struts like wires attached to it on the sides.
Oh, that's interesting.
preventing it from
What's that all
swaying.
about?
Yeah.
Call foul.
Right?
Well,
and the Rubik's Cube is not Legos, so it's like a foot shorter than it should be.
no, it's Legos. It's Legos. It's a
Okay.
representation. It's Legos. It's Legos.
I'm looking
You
at
know
the video. He's handing him the Rubik's Cube top.
Yeah.
Oh my God! They even convinced some poor guy to dress up like a Lego man.
Oh God. Hey, listen, we're at the top of the hour break, and we're just going to break for a few moments. Ralph Bond's going to continue on We've got cutting-edge tech that will finally bring desalination to the United States. Wow, that's going to be something. And also, Bandai Namco introducing a new Pac-Man to celebrate Pac-Man's 34th birthday. We got lots more stories coming up. This is the Computer America Show. We'll be right back. Stay with us, please.
Broadcasting live. It's the only national radio talk show on computers to air every weeknight. Computer America. Hosted by national columnist Craig Crossman. The first hour's behind us, but there's still more of tech news, tech talk, and your phone calls. We're being beamed nationwide at ComputerAmerica.com. You got computer problems? Bring them on. You're listening to Computer America. Computers run the world, and we run computers. Call us or send us an email to live@computeramerica.com.
Evidently, Charles was really excited about that Lego tower. Hello and welcome to Hour 2 of the nation's longest-running, nationally syndicated radio talk show on computers. This is the Computer America Show. And
Craig, why do you keep making these weird noises?
And I'm your host, Craig Crossman.
Hey, wait a minute, Charles. I want to hear the Craig Crossman.
Right.
Play that.
Craig Crossman. Yum.
But you have a yeah, that's what I want.
Yeah. I'm still trying to figure out how he made that work.
Yeah.
Like, I know your masterful audio skills. You just went and got the Red Robin one and were like, Craig Crossman.
A little more complex than that. It took some sophisticated digital audio editing, but yes, we got it down. Yeah, and
you got to change it now. You got to make it go. Charles is awesome. Yeah.
You're gonna have to work on that one. Ralph Bond continues on with us in the second hour, and of course we're going to have our show reminder winner of the week, and we're just having a good time talking about these great stories that Ralph Bond discovers for us. This next story, story 8, the cutting edge tech. Here's something. I mean, desalinization. That's sort of been like the holy grail. Basically, you can now have the ocean provide you as much water as you're ever going to need. That's the idea behind desalinization. Unfortunately, removing salt from water is not an easy thing to do. It's extremely expensive. We have the process, but the process costs more. It takes more energy than it's worth. So evidently, they've got some cutting edge tech that will finally bring desalinization to the United States. So tell us about this.
Yeah, right. And I just love these technology stories. Yes, they may not have something to do with personal computers or personal technology and so on and so forth, but I couldn't resist this. This comes from Gizmodo, and the story's by a woman named Sarah Zhang. And again, you can get the link on our show notes. And it says, the story says, in case you haven't heard, California, of course many other parts of the world too, is screwed. The drought has turned our perennial our always water-challenged state, I'll just change it there to something I can actually say, into a desiccated husk. Boy, that's very poetic. In these dire times, we look toward desalination, an ideal long promised but never quite delivered in the United States. But a spate of new technologies, graphene, solar mirrors, and of course we've had solar mirrors for many years, and more could finally make desalination viable for our freshwater needs. So obviously this story is written by a Californian. The state of I can't even say that either.
That one word that's hard to pronounce.
Removing salt from water is wonderfully summed up in a new article by Cheryl Katz in Yale Environment 360. There are at least 16 water desalination. Thanks. If I say it slow enough, maybe I can do it. Water desalination plants in some stage of planning along the West Coast. I didn't realize that. That's kind of impressive. Including a $1 billion mega plant near San Diego set to open in 2016. The San Diego plant will use the classic strategy of reverse osmosis, essentially pushing seawater through a semi-permeable filter. But new upstarts are trying out radically new technologies. For example, there's the buzz material on everyone's lips, graphene. One of the hottest new technologies on the bench in laboratories in the United Kingdom, Saudi Arabia, and South Korea and elsewhere is 1 atom thick perforated graphene membranes that can cut reverse osmosis desalination to a fraction of its current cost. Developed at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, the membrane's pores can be tuned to optimize permeability. The hang-up for now is how to mass produce the material. Or, on the other side, solar power, a process that produces salt as a byproduct instead of brackish water, which no one knows what to do with, is in existing desalination plants. So WaterFX's co-founder Arian Mandel hopes to quell those concerns with his company's new process, utilizing large parabolic mirrors to collect and concentrate the sun's energy. Inside this solar still, like a moonshiner still, right? Pure water evaporates while solids remain behind. And Mandel points out that his salt byproduct is dry and can be mined for useful chemicals rather than winding up with hazardous brine that's costly to discard. So the article concludes with there's a whole lot of other ideas hatching out of the labs: porous carbon aerogel electrodes, boy, that sounds curious, that remove salt electrically, nanotechnology that prevents bacteria biofilms from clogging up the filtration membranes, in other words, creating a desalination plant in a box. So anyway, all kinds of cool stuff. I had no idea 16 plants for desalination, if I could say that, are coming up on the West Coast. How cool is that? It's very interesting.
Yeah, but they cost billions, as you see.
Gosh, yeah.
Some of these other technologies, you wouldn't think.
It costs billions, but we now have an infinite supply of fresh water.
Yeah, that's true, but it's got to tip the balance where it's going to be. It's going to be cost effective. That's the thing.
Right. Of course, sure.
I think on that scale, it becomes cost effective after years of use. They'll break even but even as these plants come online, other technologies will maybe serve to make those obsolete. With newer technologies come out, and I don't know if these plants can be retrofitted with the newer technologies. I think that you would think that they would be able to, if they come up with some new technology that's going to just be so much better. Then perhaps they can retrofit these plants with the newer technology. I would think.
Meanwhile, Ralph, in the Hangouts window, there's a chat box at the top.
Yes.
Click that. I sent you.
Now, if I start clicking stuff, I might wind up dumping myself out.
You won't.
It's not a good idea to ask Ralph to do these things because it's risky. I see a live button. Oh wait, I do see a chat thing up here. It says there. Oh, chat. Okay, I'm gonna click this. Now let's see what happens. I'm clicking this.
Wait, Ralph, where'd you go? Oh no.
He's gone.
Wait. Ralph, and then there's a link in there.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not going to click this link because that'll probably dump me out.
It won't.
Okay, I'm doing it because I trust you. I can still hear you at least.
Oh, he's gone. Oh,
he's
no.
Gone. He's gone.
Is that the car
there you go. Very similar. I think it is the car. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, cool. Sinatra's Rat Pack ride. Wow, cool.
It's a 56 Lincoln Continental. It is 10 years older than mine.
Wow.
And by the way, you can see most of the things that we're talking about because, again, we have our live video streaming chat.
Yeah.
Because we're cool.
Yes.
Because we're just cool like that. And actually, I can do one better. Watch this.
And you can, and while we're doing that, again, you can see it. It's from Otherworld Computing, so you can actually watch and see everything that we're doing.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And one more comment about this story about desalinization. I think I said it.
Desalination. There's no Z in it.
Check this out. Did you catch this part in the story? It said this graphene technology, this one atom thick perforated graphene, developed at MIT in the United States.
Right.
But who's doing something with it? Who's doing something with it? United Kingdom, Saudi Arabia, and South Korea. That's kind of sad when you think about it, right? I mean, our guys in our country come up with this, but it's not us doing something with it immediately. It's other people. So, oh well.
Well, it's world
economic. Continental Mark II. That's what you were trying to figure out.
Aha.
Anyhow, we gotta go on back to computing stuff and gaming. Now,
This is technology.
how many quarters did you waste as a kid playing Pac-Man?
Oh God! Oh, I'll tell you a Pac-Man story. My wife denies, but it's the God's. Where's the Bible? I'll put my hand on it right now. I promise, Lord, this story is true. Way back
As
when,
everyone steps
there
back,
were-
waiting for lightning.
Once upon a time, when there were arcades, and Pac-Man was new. My wife was so addicted to Pac-Man that we would be driving someplace and she'd see an arcade and she'd say, pull over, I gotta go in, and like a drug addict, just shaking and pouring quarters in. And she was good at it too. But of course she's too cool. She denies that this ever happened. But it's the truth. But to answer your question, I probably could buy an Xbox One right now with the money we spent probably in 6 months of the worst part of our Pac-Man addiction. Probably. I'm seeing more of these. Oh, now I'm seeing a dog. Just seeing some weird stuff going. Ooh, that is a nice looking car.
Yeah. Pac-Man.
Tell me the Pac-Man story.
Pac-Man addiction, the epidemic that is sweeping the country and claiming many thousands of original generation of game players tonight at 11.
Oh God! And how many people can do the little jingle? What is it? Diddle-doo, diddle-doo, diddle-doo. I can't do it justice. I can't do it justice.
So this Pac-Man. Go ahead.
And when you die, it was so pitiful.
So continue on with story 9.
Yeah, back to the show.
back to the show.
So for story 9, guys, you got Bandai Namco, if I'm saying that right, introduces the new Mayhem Pack to celebrate Pac-Man's 34th birthday for Pac-Man for iOS. So what I think is kind of funny about this, it actually wasn't so much the product, which is just an add-on pack for an existing thing they have for their Pac-Man for iOS products, and that's all well and good. I just thought it was kind of comical. The 34th birthday, it's sort of like, well, why not 35th? Why don't you wait for the 35th or the 40th or something? That's kind of funny. But it just more made me think about reminiscing on Pac-Man. But there is this little pack. There's this Pac-Man game you can get for your iPhone, and then they've introduced this Mayhem additional pack. You can check it out on our show notes. Go out to the website and check it out. But more, it was just sort of to reminisce about thinking about our collective addictive experiences with Pac-Man, although I suspect Charles is too young to remember those days. Yes. But I certainly do.
Exactly. I wasn't addicted to Pac-Man, but I played like, was it Galaga?
Oh my God. Oh, I loved that one. I loved that one. That drove me insane. And the other one that drove me absolutely nuts was Centipede. Oh my God.
Oh man.
That drove me bananas.
Man.
When we got our Atari, we got an Atari 400, I think, right? Yeah, and that we had Pac-Man, Centipede. Is it pronounced Galaga or whatever? Anyway, we had those, and those were just hopeless addicts.
The side-scroller game. It was Williams was the spaceship that would shoot from left to right, and it would side-scroll. There were a number of them like that. So.
Oh yeah.
They were, and now you can get most all of them, on your.
Oh sure. Well, then the classic was Missile Command, right? Wasn't Missile Command the one where you'd put dots or something and things would blow up or whatever? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So simple.
Yeah.
Those were the days when I could still play games because they were simple.
Uh-huh. Now they make me feel old.
All right.
I pick up some of the modern stuff and I'm just like, what just happened here?
I like pinball. I have some great pinball.
I have a bunch of Xbox 360 pinball games I've downloaded they're just relaxing for me.
Yeah, but
I love them.
The physics are so realistic. I mean,
my gosh, yes.
And the photorealism, it's like you actually have a pinball. Yep. It used to be in the day, you had it made, you'd have a pinball machine in your home, in the game room. But now, now you don't need it. Just now you have. And of course, the modern pinball ones, they shift. You get all kinds of different things that would be virtually impossible to do with a physical pinball machine. The games are just incredible.
Absolutely.
All right. All right. Well, let's go to the next story. Now this one I want to skip over to story 11 because the Sony Smart Band is now available here in the U.S. I know a lot of people were waiting for it for quite some time. These look really cool. Tell us about this.
Yeah, they do look nice, and of course this is a very crowded market. All of these little companion things for your smartphone, these wrist devices, these health and fitness tracking products. My gosh, there's just the market is full of all kinds of options. It's good in terms of choice, but it can be kind of confusing. But this story, again, as you said, Sony Smart Band now available in the United States. Story from Techno Buffalo, a story by Todd Haselton. And you can see the photograph there of the person with the little wristband. The thing that I do like is it looks like it's a fairly slim wristband, which is nice. I have a Nike, right now, I don't know if you can see this, I have a Nike Fuel Band on, which my daughter gave me, and I like it very much, but it's a little bit thick. It doesn't bother me, but I mean, it's a little bit bulky. But anyway, going on to this story, if you have the show notes, you can see all the different colors the band comes in, large arrays of colors. Story says Sony announced on the 4th of June, so very recently, that its Smart Band, first introduced back during the Consumer Electronics Show in 2014 in January of this year, is now available for purchase in the United States. The Smart Band is composed of two components, the actual band and a secondary core. The smart part of the wearable that tracks your daily activity and stays in constant connection with your Android smartphone. The software that powers the Smart Band is what really makes it compelling. Sony's LifeLog app is what's used to track all of your activity. You can use it to see when you listened to music. That's a stat I need to know. When you took a photo, I need to know that stat too. When you decided to walk around the block, now you're getting closer to what I care about. And check your sleep habits and more. That I definitely care about. The Smart Band and LifeLog app track all of your activity, even if you're not moving around. And then LifeLog presents it in a well-designed user interface. A couple of other small details. You can also use the Smart Band to control music on your phone. Now that's kind of cool, without having to take the phone out of your pocket. It's also water resistant, which means it should be just fine if worn in the shower or in the rain. By the way, time out when it says you can control music on your phone without having to take the phone out of your pocket. Wonder how you do that. Wonder if you shake or something to go to the next song. I don't know. They didn't really explain that in the article.
Shake your body like. Wait.
Oh, now you've done it. That's Harry Belafonte. Harry Belafonte. You've done. I'll finish the story and I'll tell you the Harry Belafonte thing. The Sony Smart Band works with Android smartphones running an Android 4.4 KitKat and newer operating system. It's available in black for $99, though Sony will also start selling different colored bands later this month. The Harry Belafonte story is, I'm blown away. My son is 26. My daughter just turned 30. Both of these kids, they just blow my mind when they come up and say, "Oh, Dad, I just found this artist on Rhapsody or Spotify or whatever that I can't get enough of." My daughter says, "This Harry Belafonte guy. I love this song. Listen to this song." And, "Come, Mr. Ballyman, tally me banana." He says, "I can't get enough of that song." I said, "Kiddo, I grew up on that stuff." That was, it's remarkable to me. I don't know if you guys have had anything close to that kind of experience with what I would call, of course, from my perspective, my age, the 30-year-old is a youngster, that they're so interested in music that go back to the 50s and the 60s. And I'm just blown away, and it's a testament to the enduring, I think, quality of that music, that it still resonates with a younger audience even today. And and they're not alone. They're my son, who's 26, his peers are very still into the Beatles or all this sort of stuff. It just blows my mind. So there's my Harry Belafonte story for today.
Wow. Let me. So again, you use the you like the Sony wristband? You say you use it?
Actually, I've got the Nike Fuel Band.
Oh, the Nike, you like it?
Yeah, I like it, except I'll tell you one thing. That's just the darndest thing. I love the display. You can probably almost see the display.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so clear. It's so bright. It's really great. The display is a positive. That's wonderful. I use it for step counting and actually use it as a watch because it has time. That's all good. But dear Nike, anybody, please tell me what Nike fuel points are. I still can't understand. What does it mean? I don't get it. It says, oh, you got so many fuel points or something. Well, I understand steps. I understand minutes of sleep. I understand all kinds of things like that. But this Nike fuel points, what the devil is that? And I haven't found anybody to tell me why I should care and what they are.
You can trade them in for free gas, maybe. I have no idea.
Well, now if Nike fuel points translated into Starbucks points that translated into caffeine for me, then this I could understand. But otherwise, it's like this abstraction that I don't get at all. I'm sorry, you've hit a terribly raw nerve, and you're going to have to deal with this. But somebody out there, if anybody from Nike is listening to this show, please contact me. Help me understand Nike fuel points. Otherwise, I love the band.
Now, Charles is a huge Amazon. Excuse me, not Amazon, but Android fan, and likes a lot of the Android phones. But evidently, according to this story, on the 18th of June, which is is sometime next week, Amazon is going to host a surprise launch event. And they're thinking it's going to be the Amazon phone.
God, I hope not.
Yeah. Isn't that wild? I mean,
like, hold on. I'm on the phone right now, but I've got an Amazon ad popping up in my face here. God, I hope.
But wait, it's a Prime phone. It's a Prime phone, so you don't have to pay for shipping.
Yeah. You just have to watch all of the ads. God.
Well, Amazon gets it that their brand is pretty powerful, and I thought this was so intriguing. I just kind of assumed you guys might have already covered this story because it's just so out there. But this comes from Techno Buffalo, great website, by the way, guys. Another story here from Todd Hazelton, and again, the headline is Amazon to host surprise launch event on the 18th of June. ? Amazon phone coming? And the story says Amazon will host a surprise launch event on the 18th of June in Seattle. The company made the announcement on its website where, oddly, it appears that anyone can request an invitation to the event, provided you have an Amazon account. Not everyone is guaranteed entrance, of course. So what's in store? We've heard plenty of rumors that Amazon is developing its own smartphone, and the site has an image of an unknown product that certainly looks like one. This also seems like the right timing for the device, which has long been rumored to make its debut this summer. Not too long ago, we saw the first alleged pictures of the phone, which likely has a forked version of the Android catered to Amazon's ecosystem of apps, music, movies, and more, just like the Kindle Fire tablets. That's kind of relates a bit to what Charles was just saying. Additionally, rumors have suggested that Amazon will outfit the device with several cameras and a 3D display which will enable users to take advantage of gesture controls instead of touching the phone. There have been times when I've wanted to make a gesture to my phone, but I don't think it's anyway, the 3D display will allow you, for example, to rotate a model of a product you're planning to purchase from the Amazon store before you actually hit the buy button. There's another linkage to Amazon to your point, Charles. The gesture controls and 3D display seem more than likely, especially given a video posted on Amazon's site that shows people reacting to an unknown device. It moved me, one woman says in the video. It's very real life and uncomparable to anything I've seen, another person in the video says, and that's pretty damned intuitive, a man on the video adds. Coincidentally or not, T-Mobile is holding its Uncarrier 5.0 event the same day but at a different location downtown in Los Angeles. Is it possible the two are tied in some way? We don't know yet. So I just thought that was a fun story, and
well, here's the thing.
I am a big fan of Amazon Prime.
Well, everything that Amazon makes is really designed to make it easier for you to buy stuff at Amazon.
Yep.
So if you like buying stuff at Amazon, go for it, absolutely. But if you don't frequent
Amazon,
if
it's not relevant to you,
then this probably might not be the product for you. But if you're a huge Amazon fan and you have Amazon Prime and you're buying stuff from Amazon, all right, well, then this might make it easier and might be something that you might have interest in. But if you don't use Amazon or any of its services, then you might want to look elsewhere. I mean, that's
Right.
my only input there.
Yeah, and it's just interesting that a company like Amazon's thinking our brand can carry over into this kind of market, and to think that there's enough users, to your point, Craig, who may be Amazon Prime fans, to think I've got to have this phone because it's going to make shopping a little bit easier. It's an interesting concept. Well, we'll see.
Well,
Yeah. Not happening.
all right, now here's a story that kind of dredges up an argument that we had a few months ago, and it was part of it was that, if you read something online, does that mean you read the book? Remember that argument, Charles?
No, not if you've read it online. If you've listened to the book.
Listen to that, right?
Exactly. Talking about audiobooks versus reading the book, and this. I think it was Ralph who was on the show when we had this argument. Do you want to dredge this one back up?
Well, here's an article that it's not the same perspective, but it's still the courts are getting involved. This is the EU court rules that reading online news doesn't violate copyright. It's another
Yeah, it just goes to show you that lawyers will figure out something to get upset about. There's nothing to stop them. This story comes from Engadget.com. Sean Buckley is the author. Again, as you said, the headline is European Union Court rules that reading online does not violate copyright. So, of course, the implications of this are interesting globally, not just for the EU. But it says here, you probably didn't know it, but the legality of what you're doing right now, meaning reading something off the internet, has been a hotly debated issue in the EU courts, reading articles online. For the last 4 years, the Public Relations Consultants Association and the Newspaper Licensing Agency have been trying to determine if browsing and viewing copyrighted material online required the authorization of the copyright holder. And then when this article was written, it says here, today the Court of Justice in the European Union ruled that it does not. It sounds like a no-brainer, but the facts are a little more complicated. The two groups were arguing over the application of licenses to media monitoring agencies and their effects on end users. According to the PR sector, that part of the community, the law could have been interpreted to make any user reading an online story liable for copyright infringement. God help you enforcing that. But the newspaper companies argued that its licensing fees would only apply to entities looking to make commercial use of their content. That seems logical to me. The court wound up erring on the side of caution, but the NLA says it won't have any effect on licensing fees. And then it goes on to conclude with a quote here, media monitoring agencies still require a license to copy online content and create paid-for services for clients, explained the NLA Managing Director David Poe. And their clients still need to license to receive those services. And he went on to explain it mostly affects future services with public content portals, and said that if end users don't need to pay licensing fees, those fees might increase for media monitoring firms to compensate. Convoluted? Question mark? A little, but at least the news is still free to read. So being in the press relations business as I've been myself, off and on for so many years, they're talking about these services. For example, our company, Autodesk, we have a service, a third-party service that uses search terms and so forth, and every day delivers into my email stories that relate to the part of Autodesk that I work with, right? And that's what they're talking about. Those services that take content, news service, a Boston Globe story, for example, that appeared today, and it might mention some product that's in my product group. And so my clipping service, so to speak, grabs that. We pay a fee for them to do that effort, and they deliver in my email. They have to pay the licensing fees according to the European Union judgment, and that makes sense to me because people are getting paid. They're making money off of the work of others. Whereas in contrast, you, me, or Charles, just going out to the Boston Globe website and reading something are not violating copyright. So that's the essence of the argument, as I understand it.
Now this is going to tie in to story 20, and I hope we can just jump to that one next.
Sure.
But quite honestly, it's this. It's the people who are complaining that I'm infringing on your copyright, who have content online, who have replicated news online. They're complaining because, well, now we have 10 less subscribers because they can go online. Well, duh. Go, fix your marketing and your advertising online. That's where everybody else is going.
All right,
Yeah.
we're going to take a break, and then we'll continue on with Story 20. Aereo lands on Chromecast. All right, this is the Computer America Show, and also we have our show reminder winner of the week coming up. Stay with us. It's all happening.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 120,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy and major car companies filing for bankruptcy, Cover America Auto Care has announced revolutionary, inexpensive mechanical breakdown coverage that is now available to the general public to save consumers thousands on auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for drivers to call who own a vehicle that is less than 10 years old for a free 5-minute quote and to see if you qualify. The number is 800-483-2514. Drivers who are covered with this auto protection will not have to pay for a covered repair again. This is the auto coverage now sweeping across America at a fraction of what dealerships charge and is now available to the public by calling today. The number to call is 800-483-2514. 800-483-2514. That's 800-483-2514.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-866-663-MyTV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. So, disable the cable and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-866-663-MyTV right now to sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99 and up to 4 rooms. And there's no equipment to buy. That includes your free HD TV upgrade, your free DVR upgrade, and your free professional installation. And the best part, the pristine digital picture and sound. Call 1-866-663-MyTV. So, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-866-663-MyTV. 1-866-663-MyTV. Disable the cable, cut costs, and get more. Call 1-866-663-MyTV. 1-866-663-MyTV.
Hi, this is Marty Winston for Computer America with a News Tips Bulletin review of something that just came in a package from Stockholm. It was the DeGauss Labs Pocket Couture in-ear 3-button Android headset. The earpods wear little rubbery hats. So overall, they are sitting more completely inside the ear canal than most earbuds. They are sensitive. A handset can drive them to really too high sound levels. When they're overdriven, they distort a little, and a wise or wary user can take that as a sign of hearing under threat. The sound reproduction is good, but less than audiophile. The best headphones step out of the way of listening, but these always seem to make their presence known. It's compromise for perfectionists, but not a big deal for most people. The mic side is more of a compromise. When we called our landline voicemail, the audio quality was a bit muffled. Not unintelligible, but not remarkably clear. Bottom line, most Android mobile gear users will find the DeGauss Labs Pocket Couture in-ear 3-button Android headset a satisfactory choice. This is Marty Winston at the News Tips Bulletin for Computer America.
Am I the only one who feels like he's dialing into their brain?
Yeah, he is.
I'm suddenly connected to Marty Winston. Anyway, welcome back to the Computer America Show. We are 33 minutes past the hour in the second hour. We're talking to Bond, Ralph Bond.
Yes.
About new emerging technologies and fun stuff. And I think Craig wants to say something, but I think I'm going to keep talking just to harass Craig. If you watch him, as long as you don't let Craig talk, he's like, oh, he's doing his... He's going to mute me.
Have our show reminder winner of the week.
See? He's going to try.
Don't make him snap his suspenders again.
Right? Don't make me click you.
Yes, exactly. All right, well, let's do our show reminder winner of the week. And Ralph, you can play the digital drums if you want to. Oh, we can't do them. Oh, yeah, he's got them. Okay, here we go. You ready?
He's got pens.
He's got pens. It doesn't work as well when you can watch it now.
Yeah, I know.
Our show reminder winner is Tammy Richards. Tammy Richards, congratulations. You're our show reminder for the week. Tammy wins the Logitech Wireless Rechargeable Touchpad T650, about at $80. So congratulations to you, Tammy. And again, check out all of our contests at ComputerAmerica.com, and you can be a winner just like Tammy is this week. It's right under our contest page, under our first pull-down menu. And you can see I have a show reminder winner, which is, and we also have our Logitech contest, which is in full swing. Actually, it's going to end next week. Okay, next Friday is the last day. We shut it down, and then over the weekend we draw the 3 winning names, and then on Monday, June 23rd, we announce the 3 big winners. So check them all out on our contest page. Enter in all of our contests at ComputerAmerica.com. You really should. They're free. They're private. That's right. We give your contact info out to nobody unless you're a winner. So we give your info to Logitech so they can mail you your prize. That's it. So head over to ComputerAmerica.com. Enter in all of our contests. You'll be really happy that you did, and who knows, you might win something really, really nice. Okay. Ralph Bond is here with us, and we are continuing to do these stories. And Charles wanted Ralph to go to story 20.
Because it ties into the whole copyright thing, and I know that this topic, these guys have been in the news on multiple levels because people like who is it? I think Comcast, yeah, they're a real great corporation, have been trying to take things like this and stamp them out. They're saying, we can't do this. I mean, even the guy we had on the show months ago, Rabbit TV, they're now probably coming under fire from these large organizations who are saying, you can't do this, you can't make it easy for them to ditch us, and that's yeah.
Oh yeah. Now you're gonna get me on a soapbox, which is another story I'll tell you about after we do this story because oh my goodness. Anyway, okay, story 20 here, folks. If you got your show notes, which you should have your show notes. Anyway, Aereo, A-E-R-E-O, lands on Chromecast. This just really caught my eye because, as Charles was saying, Aereo has been very controversial, very interesting, a bunch of folks. And, of course, anything to do with Chromecast is of interest. So the story is from TechCrunch, a story by Jordan Crook. And we've got the link for you here. Aereo, the streaming TV service that lets you tune into live television and watch it from any device, has today expanded its support to Chromecast, good old Google's $35 smart TV dongle via the Android app. Now, Aereo has been available on Android since last year, but this latest development lets those same users watch Aereo on an actual TV through Chromecast as opposed to being limited to tablets and smartphones. Now, Aereo is a relatively new service that lets users rent out miniature remote antennas used to access nearly live TV from any device. The service also comes with a DVR storage plan, which theoretically lets you cut your cable bill from $100 to $12 with almost nothing lost.
That's $100 to $12.
Yeah. Of course, you can only access channels that offer free over-the-air broadcast access, so forget about Bravo and ESPN, and I'll add Home and Garden TV, and the Food Channel, which in my household are must-haves.
And HBO.
Aereo has run into legal trouble with broadcasters. This is the point that both of you were making at the outset here. Aereo has run into legal trouble with broadcasters over the service as broadcasters question the issue of copyrights in the midst of Aereo's technological innovation. After years of local battles, the two sides took the matter to the Supreme Court in April, and we're still waiting for a decision that will determine the fate of the startup called Aereo. But for now, the company is clearly taking things one day at a time and moving forward, most recently with the support of Chromecast. And the story ends with Android-owning TV lovers rejoice! And so interesting all the way around. Chromecast, of course, Aereo, all of it.
What do you think the Supreme Court's going to rule on something like that?
It could be similar to the EU's position. It could be if you, Aereo, are making money by repurposing something that's copyrighted, then you've got to pay a fee or something, or the copyright owner can prevent you from doing what you're doing. It's because they're making money that it's a problem, I guess, legally, but I'm certainly not a lawyer. I don't know. We'll see, guys. It's real interesting. Oh, did we lose Charles?
No. I'm one of those. I'm one of those people that firmly believe that we've got the technology now to bring all of this stuff directly to the consumer via methods this ties back into the net neutrality thing. You've got companies out there who are trying to stop that from happening, and because they know that there's no way for them to legislate it off, for them to say, you're infringing on copyright or doing all this other stuff. No, these individual stations, these individual providers are saying, look, people want to see this online. It's a big deal. We get more viewers. We reach more people online, and we can promote it better online and get them to read other stuff on our particular website while they're online. So we're going to provide this streaming service. But the providers are like, this sucks. You guys are starting to ditch us. The industry is starting to ditch us. They're going around doing all these different things, right? That is basically going to turn us into nothing more than a than a service provider. And I'm like, yeah, that's the point. You need to get out of the way and just let us do our thing.
Yeah.
That's my opinion, anyway.
You've opened up a can of whatever. I'm not sure what I can say or not. But one thing I'll tell you about that's been a very unpleasant development over the last, I don't know, maybe 4 months or so. See if you guys have no pun intended, tuned in on this problem. And I'm going to qualify what I'm about to say by saying I think this applies to Fox Online, not yet NBC Online, but anyway, I believe this is correct, so forgive me, God, and lawyers and everybody if I've got this wrong. But let me just genericize it. My daughter called me up on the phone the other day and said, Dad, what is the family Comcast account login and so forth, because now all of a sudden such and so networkonline.com to watch my show is saying, well, you've got to log in with some service provider account and then we'll let you see this show. I said, didn't used to do this, Dad. What's going on? And I said, well, two problems here. One, we're not with Comcast anymore. We left them and we went with Frontier in our area. And Frontier doesn't offer, Frontier's not one of the service providers recognized by this big national broadcasting outlet online, and so she's effectively locked out. And I thought to myself, what is going on here? It used to be in the good old days, a year ago or so, I could go to all these different online outlets, all these major networks, and see shows maybe a day or two later after they originally aired, but hey, I could get access to them. Now it seems like this insidious thing where they're asking me, well, wait a minute, before I give you this show, you got to log in with your provider account. And they list the different providers, Comcast, Verizon, whatever it is. And wait a minute. So hey, you guys have heard of this or have experienced this yourself, perhaps, it sounds like. I think it's really disappointing. I think it's just going to inflame people even more. I remember having a long conversation with a Comcast rep on the phone saying, you people, you've got to stop forcing me to take 200 or 300 channels that I don't care about. Why can't you give me a menu? Why can't you give me a menu and say, Ralph, you pick 10 channels, it's this much. You pick 15 channels, it's this much. If you pick 20 channels, it's this much. And also make it deliverable over the internet to me. Stop, stop, because I'll tell you what, if it weren't for my wife, who's addicted to Home and Garden Channel and Food Network, if it weren't for that, I would say goodbye to all of that craziness. I would have voice over IP for phone, and I would have my own internet. And if they want to monkey around with me, the way my daughter solved her problem, by the way, was she started subscribing to Hulu, the Hulu paid service. And, that's still vastly less expensive than the cable thing because she's a young woman who can't afford Comcast and stuff like that. She's doing over-the-air TV and Hulu now. So there you go.
I think the future of cable and satellite in order to compete, is going to have to allow you to cherry pick the stations that you
agree.
But by then, nobody's going to want it. Everybody's going to be like, I've already got it set up the way I want it online.
Well, maybe yes, maybe no. I mean, you still can't get HBO online unless you.
Yes, you can. Actually, if you're an Amazon Prime subscriber, you can get HBO Go.
Yeah, but that's not the live HBO. It's the shows that come on, but you don't get the actual live a grid that's coming on.
What do you want to see that's live that you don't?
Yeah, what I'm saying is, though, I understand what you're saying, but I'm saying there are a lot of them. I'm talking about Showtime, the Movie Channel, Max, all the ones that are on there. You'll get to pick the stations that you want. You'll pick HBO, which will probably include all like 6 or 7 HBO channels, because I like HBO and HBO West. You get there's certain things in there, and then you would pick. If you want any sports channels, great. If you don't want any sports channel, you get to pick the local channels. You pick the ones that you want. You want the Food Network. You want and a lot, and then you get so many, and then you pay the amount, and you pay for what you want. I mean, I've got so many channels on here that I never watch. I mean, I exclude them.
Amen.
I exclude them out of the grid. I don't, because it's so, for me to go around the grid just to get the ones that I like, I have to step or stumble over these other ones that I don't want. So this way I can just get rid of the, now you don't have to do that. You just get the ones that you want, and that's it.
Yeah.
And then keep an eye out on new stuff that's coming around. They might have a blog channel or something like that, so you want to watch that. You add it to it, but that's it. And I think eventually they're going to have to do something like that. And they'll still be competitive, but I think that's what they're gonna. And that's the bottom line. I think that's where it's going.
I agree. Oh yeah. Before we consolidated our phone and TV and internet into one package, in this case with an outfit called Frontier here in Oregon. They're not exclusively in Oregon, but nonetheless, they took over the Verizon Fios stuff in our neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
Before that, we were paying $110 a month just for television. What? I mean, that's just obscene. It's just wrong. Yeah. And so we find, like millions of consumers, we said enough is enough. We're currently going with this consolidation thing, and that's all well and good, and it's helped. But it's always these deals, a 2-year package, and then God knows what's going to happen after that. And I just,
it's what's happened with the phones. I mean, I used to spend $250 to $300 a month just for my 2 phone lines.
Yep. Goodbye.
Now I got myself a Numa, and that's all. And it's just like having a telephone. And goodbye to AT&T. I don't need it anymore.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, exactly.
The day is coming.
Yeah.
Mark my words.
Mark our words.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's go back to story 16, because now we're talking about Blu-ray drives. I remember when I had my a DVD CD a DVD drive from Pioneer Electronics.
Right.
Weighed like 30 pounds. It was nice drive, but and then I was able to go and I picked up a Blu-ray drive from those in Pioneer. It was from another company. I have it here. I haven't used it in a while. But the point is, it sold for $99, and it was at the time it was supposed to like $300 or $400 for the other unit. And it weighs a fraction of the weight, and it does so much more. And now of course Blu-ray. ASUS is making a new external Blu-ray drive. And it looks like it's a pretty good deal here.
Yeah, and it does 7.1 audio, and the headline says ASUS's new external Blu-ray drive does 7.1 audio at a fair price. It's a story from Engadget by Richard Lay, and the picture shows it's a pretty attractive little unit, a very small unit too, as you can see. It says, well, ASUS continues to impress us with a slew of PCs and mobile devices at Computex, which is a big international industry show. Let's not forget that it still makes some nice peripherals. And I actually have kind of forgotten about ASUS peripherals. Well, anyway, it says one thing that surprised us at the ASUS booth at Computex was a pretty external Blu-ray drive aimed at audio buffs. Dubbed the Blu-ray Prime, this USB 3.0 device claims to be the world's only optical drive with 7.1 channel audio output. So, of course, most of us are taking our Blu-rays and connecting them to to our home theater receivers and that sort of thing, but this drive has that 7.1 channel audio output built in, right? Courtesy of an integrated ASUS, it's spelled Xonar.
Zonar.
How would you pronounce that, Craig?
Zonar.
Thank you. Sound card, which packs a Cirrus Logic CS4398 DAC and a C-Media CM6631A audio processor, plus optical output. It also features a 600 ohm headphone amplifier and a clean 114 dB signal to noise ratio. Expect the Blu-ray Prime to hit various markets for about $200 in the fourth quarter after the DVD version is released in Q3 for about half the price. So it's just sort of a niche thing, kind of interesting. And again, for me, it was a reminder that ASUS does things other than PCs and mobile devices.
Yeah, exactly. Now, getting back to TV here, this is story 19. Live gaming viewership exploded in 2013. This is kind of cool. Tell us about this.
Yeah. A story from PC Magazine. A great author's name is great. Rexley, R-E-X-L-Y, Penna, Florida. What a great name. Anyway, the headline again, live gaming viewership exploded in 2013. And I have to admit, this is something that I wasn't really very aware of, and maybe you guys are more aware of this. But anyway, the story says every year more and more people are tuning in to watch live broadcasts of gamers making their way through popular titles. The phenomenon, dubbed esports, E-S-P-O-R-T-S, by analyst firm IHS, has jumped from 1.2 billion hours in 2012 to 2.4 billion hours in 2013. Holy smokes. In a new report, IHS attributed the rise of online video game viewing to platforms such as Twitch, where gamers can watch games in progress, game walkthroughs, and even professional tournaments. Now, the tournaments, I can definitely understand watching that. Esports covers the average gamer with a faithful online following to professional who take part in major competitions. Prior to online game broadcast platform, esports were largely consigned to highlight reels on major channels or live games on little-known cable networks, IHS, the research firm, said. Now, however, anyone with a broadband internet connection can become a gaming star, much like YouTube has fostered the careers of certain performers. In 2013, the most popular game on Twitch was Riot Games' League of Legends, followed by Valve's Dota 2 and Blizzard Entertainment's StarCraft 2, with the most viewers from China. That's interesting. Followed by the United States and Korea. GameSpot reported that GameSpot reported that the international, the annual Dota 2 championships, had 1 million simultaneous viewers at its peak in 2013. However, the League of Legends website reported its Season 3 World Championship last year peaked at 1.1 million simultaneous viewers, making it the most watched esports event in history. And it goes on here, it says, by streaming games isn't limited to PCs alone. Twitch streaming was included with the PlayStation 4 when it launched in November, and it arrived on Xbox One in March. In less than a month, players on Xbox One streamed over 23 million minutes of gameplay footage on Twitch, while PS4 players logged over 20 million minutes in the console's first month via Twitch and Ustream. The rise of services like Twitch has caught the eye of potential buyers. Gee, no surprise. Last month, there were unconfirmed reports that YouTube was in the market to buy Twitch for more than $1 billion. The investment might be a profitable move for YouTube, especially with the same IHS report predicting 6.6 billion hours of streaming game footage in 2018, with over 300 million in global online ad revenue annually by the same year. I've yet to watch one of these broadcasts of gaming. Have you guys seen any of this stuff yourself?
I've seen a couple of them, yeah.
Dan watches them all the time. It's especially when he's with friends. They'll sit there and they'll watch it. They'll be like like you and I would watch, like a movie on TV, with friends. They sit around and watch the games being played, and I'll walk in there and say, I said, well, hey, what are you guys doing? They said, oh, we're watching the game. I said, are you playing? He says, no, we're watching the game being played. So And they really get into it because not only the watching, but they can activate their webcam, so they can watch other people watching or friends, and they can kind of comment and make things. And of course they have narrators who are narrating what's going on. I mean, like as sportscasters, they have gamecasters that
that's cool.
They know with their ties and up there, and they're at their big desks, and they're commentating on the live play as it goes on. I mean, it's to a packed audience who's also watching these gamers doing this stuff. It's amazing.
I think it sounds like fun. I want to try it.
I'm doing it right now.
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool.
It's one of those things where you can I did it a couple of nights ago with my buddy. We were sitting around and we were like, he was telling me about this game that he had played, and I'm like, man, I don't have time to sit here to spend an entire day playing a game, but I want to know about the game. I want to know the experience on it, and if it piques my interest, I'll buy the game. So we went and we watched the game playing, and it was amazing. It was like we really felt like we played the whole game. It was fun.
But of course,
here's what I want.
They're playing it better than you could ever play it.
I know, right? And you don't feel like such a scrub.
And Craig and Charles, to your last point there, I'm thinking I'll have this up on my big screen. I'll have it set up so that I've got my Xbox controller in my hand, and I'll set it up so that my friends will come in and think I'm playing. I'll say, what happened to Ralph? How did he suddenly become a Twitch-enabled gamer? How did that happen? He used to just do pinball.
Just telling you. And they've got a lot of games over here on Twitch that I enjoy seeing. Like the one game I haven't seen yet is Watchdog.
Oh yeah,
so Hamilton. Just www.twitch.com. What is the URL?
It's twitch.tv.
Oh, twitch.tv. I've got to check this out.
And you can see it. Well, we're coming to the end of the show, so as soon as we're over, you can do all that.
Wait a minute, you're saying don't do it now because we're still working? Okay.
Working, but after whatever you like, Yeah, exactly. Well, I'll tell you. Why don't you tell us briefly what's going on with Autodesk? I know we like that was.
Yes. Yeah, I'm glad you asked about that. One thing that might be really fun for all of you listeners and you and Charles, I want you to point your browser to http://3DRV. RV is in recreational vehicle, and I want you to point your browser to that and .com. So it's http://3drv.com. Autodesk is sponsoring this vehicle with a great guy named TJ, who's going around the United States, and it's a celebration of 3D design, 3D printing, the avant-garde, and all things 3D. And it's made multiple stops on the West Coast so far, one of them being here in Portland, Oregon, where I met the RV van and TJ out at the Selwood Bridge, which is a fascinating story in its own right, and then went up the road to Seattle, where we looked at the Seattle's version of the Big Dig. They're digging a tunnel underneath the city to get rid of some nasty, ugly double-decker freeway that's right along the shoreline, and they'll replace it with this beautiful parkway when they're all done. And so check that out, 3drv.com. You can follow the trip, and it's a wonderful story, and TJ's a great guy, and great visuals and great story there.
That's something that Dee and I have been talking about. We want to just get an RV and spend a month just on the road doing things, and it would be kind of cool to be like, Computer America live from.
Yeah, that's a cool idea. It could be really cool.
Yeah, they're in the Yellowstone National Park. It's
Yep. Yeah, that's what's next. Yeah.
8 months. This is an 8-month journey all across the United States.
And they only stay. Do they only stay in the RV?
90 seconds.
No, they stay in a hotel too.
They cheat.
We are out of
TJ's got his wife and son with him.
Oh, okay.
We are out of time. Ralph, thanks so much for being with us. Always a lot of fun having you. Please stay here to the end so we can finish our Hangouts video after show. Coming up on Monday, we're going to have Amped Wireless is going to be joining us. This is a cool company. They actually have a Wi-Fi booster products that actually enhance Wi-Fi range, long-range Wi-Fi products.
Seconds.
So let me talk about this in the first hour, and then in the second hour we're going to have the Honey HomeBot This is a Kickstarter project that looks really cool. They're going to be both the creators are going to be with us in the second hour of the show. So have a great weekend. You know, catch a movie, do something fun. You know, hang out with friends, watch some video game broadcasts, and all that stuff. And we'll see you on Monday night. Is that what you're going to do, Charles? Go to a game network?
I'm going to go do what?
Watch a video game. Anyway.
No, I'm actually looking at RVs now.
We'll see you Monday night. So until Monday night, this is Craig Crossman hoping that your hard disk never becomes
trapped in a game world?
Floppy. We'll see you Monday night.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
Okay, and we're off that. We're still in our Google Hangouts, and we want to say goodnight to everybody. I'll say night in the chat room.
Yep, it was great. Always fun.
And we'll be out of there, and we'll say goodnight to everybody in the after show video.
After party.
Yes, that's a party, and we'll see you all on Monday. So say goodnight to everybody.